What's going on? Mr. Thomas back here again. And the bottom of the video does say Prey Reloaded. No, it's not a theatrical uncut version of Prey that's being released. It is me just doing another review of this film because I felt like in my first review, I wasn't being true to myself how I really felt about this movie. I just felt like I was being fairly nice. I was being fair to the film. But going back and rewatching it, there are some things that actually, I caught this time around or just didn't click that I felt like, I should have called on the first time around. I'm going to still review this film in my AAR format, after action review format of ups, some downs, improves or whatever. But hey, instead of beating around the bush, let's get to it. Let's get with the ups. Now, we got a new Predator film that is actually reminding us of what this species is all about. A bunch of intergalactic space hunters and space warriors that live by a strict code, and all they do is live for the hunt. And they have a sense of honor to them. Number two, the Predator in this film was not overpowered at all. Upon watching the trailer, I always thought to myself, okay, how are some Native Americans going to go one-on-one with this alien? And it has all this advanced weaponry. Yeah, the weaponry was still advanced, but the weaponry, to me now, went with the tone and the setting of the film in the year that it was set in, which is 1719. I also like the fact that the main character, Naru, she wasn't no Mary Sue. She wasn't entitled. She wasn't gifted with no special abilities that made her strong from the beginning, like in the live-action Mulan remake, in which Mulan already had powers and she had to hide her powers until the end of the movie when she needed it the most. None of that stuff. And when Naru was faced with danger, especially when she came in contact with the Predator, she knew right then and there she was punching way above her weight class. And she got the hell up out of Dodge more than once until she figured out how the Predator operated. I also enjoyed the way that the Predator was killing its prey, pun intended, in this film, be it man or animal. I mean, instead of just hiding off and just taking its prey out with advanced weaponry, it got up close and personal. If y'all haven't seen the movie by now, there's some things I'm going to just spoil, so forgive me in advance, but here we go. And also, it's been out for a week. So, there's a scene in which the Predator fights a bear, a grizzly bear, up close and personal. And I'm going, wow, and that bear was giving the Predator a run for his money. Like, oh man, Smokey ain't playing with him. But hey, another one. It went one-on-one with a wolf. And wolf now, and it gutted a wolf. You're like, okay, I'm liking how this Predator is getting down up close and personal with these, with his opponents. I like it. And when it was taking on the Comanche Native Americans and it was taking on the French colonizers, it got up close and personal, and the way how it was doing these kill sequences will make the most diehard of Mortal Kombat fans happy. Because this was a very creative way of like, oh, okay, I like this. I like this a lot. I rocks with it. And, overall to me, that was, a step up in how the Predator, especially this one, handled his business. Now let's get to some things that made me just go, really? Okay, not to think too hard on it, but there's some things that could have, would have, should have done better. One, the marketing. Nobody would have never known there was another Predator film in the works unless they just happened to scroll through YouTube and see, oh, there's a new movie coming out. I also felt like this film could have got a theatrical release, but I guess since it didn't have any big name stars to it, people really wasn't interested in it. Also add to the fact that ever since 2020, you don't see too many people in theaters nowadays like you used to, which is a bummer and kind of sucks, but I guess, better safe than sorry. So, let's put it to Hulu and stream it instead. But some of the things that just got me was like how the first two Predator films, those Predators tore through droves of men that were armed to the teeth with machine guns, Uzis, AR-15s, you name it, it tore through them. But in this one, going one-on-one against Native Americans that have bow and arrows and tomahawks, I'm going, bruh, you kind of struggling there a bit, ain't you? I mean, it still overcame its opponents, but I'm like, how are these Native Americans with their primitive weapons giving this Predator a run for his money and is struggling? Here's another thing. At the end of the film, like I said, gonna be spoilers. Shouldn't come as no surprise that the main character, Naru, once she figured out how the Predator operated, her and her dog, yes, you heard me say that correctly, her and her dog bested this Predator in combat. Now, going back to the first film, that Predator beat the brakes off of Arnold Schwarzenegger up close and personal. Well, it didn't let Arnold get too close. The second film, Danny Glover did much better than Arnold did in the first film, but it still gave him a run for his money. But in this film, she held her own. I mean, it's hard to imagine that you got a woman that's under 5 feet tall and barely weighing 100 pounds going one-on-one against an elite killing machine from outer space. But I guess, hey, movies, plot armor had to happen. But I just had to sit here and scratch my bald head and go, yeah, this isn't even a struggle at this point. I mean, I know the script called for it to happen, but Pocahontas and her dog beat the Predator. Oh, and by the way, since 20th Century Fox and Hulu are owned by Disney, it's safe to say that Naru is a Disney princess now. So, the Predator got beat by a Disney princess. Let that sink in for a minute. But overall, it's not a bad film. I enjoyed it for what it is. It was entertaining. There are some people that are divided about it, but I enjoyed it for what it is. I didn't ask too much from it. Not asking for no Oscar-worthy, performance or praise or whatnot. But it's a fun film. You can watch it once, twice, however many times you feel like watching it. But like I said, I enjoyed it for what it is. There's some things that, I said, that could have been better with the promotion or lack thereof of the film. But overall, if you're just looking for something just to watch on a rainy day, or watch while folding laundry, or watch because you are a fan of this franchise, I give it a thumbs up anyways. It's definitely recommended and worth watching. To me, that is. So, until then, I'll see you on the next one.